What is meditation? Welcome to another Coffee Time with John. At some point, I'm going to have to do a blooper reel on these videos because there are some things that happen that make me laugh every time I do one. I was just to give you a sense of what I was sitting here going. What is meditation? And which is what this video is about. And some people, and I meant to say, some people think of eating yogurt as meditation. And I said, some people think eating yoga is meditation. And it made me laugh. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. I know that I absolutely am. I find something to laugh at every day. What is laughter? Laughter is a joyful exhalation. It's releasing all tension. It's releasing all fears and anxiety. It's living in a space of joy and love. It's just a joyful moment of release. What is meditation? It's a joyful moment of release. The Dalai Lama says the best meditation is sleep. And I talk about the idea of as you go to sleep at night, as you get closer to bedtime, you start to yawn. And as you yawn, you're letting out all the air and relaxing. Sorry. Sorry. As you're exhaling, right? We know that our primal fear response is that we hold air in our bodies so that we have enough air supply to run fast. It's a natural primal reaction of the physical form. And when you exhale and release all your tension, you feel better. You shut off the fear response. Actors are trained that if they forget their lines on stage, they're supposed to exhale and relax all their muscles. And all their lines come back into their head. What is meditation? Meditation is a respite from the fears and the anxieties of a world that are designed to give you fears and anxieties. Meditation is a way of resetting your consciousness to be closer to love. Now, meditation has so many different names and techniques and methods, and people will tell you have to do this to meditate. When I tell people how I meditate, I cannot tell you how many people say, I have no idea what I'm talking about what meditation is. And I find that really funny because they feel judgmental and I feel loving. So I think my meditation's working, right? When people want to judge you like from that, then they're unsettled, they're unclear, and they're having to be right. So they're judging, and in the fact that they're judging, they're literally declaring that their meditation doesn't work. I go through my life smiling, laughing, joking, and it's not because I'm different. It's because I release the tensions. When I did my USO shows, I did 6 tours, and for the USO I did 16 countries, and I understood the reason why I did that was because I wanted to release their tension. I wanted to go there and make them laugh because they were in a very tense situation. And the greatest response I had was I was in Ramadi, Iraq, and a soldier came up to me and said, Mr. Davis, he says, this morning I was in a firefight, and this afternoon for 2 hours I was able to forget that and laugh. That was meditation in my mind, because he was able to set down the fears and the anxieties of the world and rest in love. And the difference between sleep and awaking meditation is very different, but the difference is mainly the level of consciousness. When I get into really deep meditation, time goes by. And as most of you know, I don't call it meditation. I'm using the word meditation very liberally in this video, but I call it sitting in love because I think the word meditation is overused. I think people say driving is my meditation, but then other people will say you have to have a mantra if you want to meditate, or you have to count in breathing, inhaling 7 seconds, and out 8 seconds or 9 seconds, and they have all these different methods and techniques, and that's what they say meditation is. And I've tried them all. I've tried every form out there, and I discovered that every one of them brings you to the moment where you go and you exhale and you let go. So rather than focusing on the form, the technique, the method, why not just go to the place that it's leading you to? Just go to the place of letting go. They don't call it the breath of God for any other reason than God is in your breath. There's a moment when you get really deep into meditation where you become the observer, where you watch your body breathe on its own, and you realize a couple things. Number one, you don't breathe your body. You affect your breathing, but you don't breathe your body. And number two, when you're not involved, your body breathes with no effort. It just naturally goes in and out, and there's no thought process behind it. Pardon me. This is really making me yawn. There's no thought process behind it. It just is. And being that it just is, then it comes to that place of, and letting go. I find that when I take the conscious time, when I go to bed at night, I go through the same process. I exhale, I relax, I follow my consciousness into myself. And there's several experiences I have when I fall asleep. And, first is, being very aware of what's happening in that room. I feel the bed beneath me. I get into the right position, right? And I just am very aware of the room. And then my awareness shifts to being inside my body. And when I say inside my body, inside but disconnected, like inside of a shell, looking at the back of my eyelids. And so I have that physical consciousness state, that shift into that space. And then there's an odd sensation where I feel like a giant, like I'm much bigger than it all, right? And in that moment, the room, which I was feeling before, feels like there's no distance. It feels like it's right there on top of me, right? But not in a bad way. It's just like there. And then I drift into various other states, and I could talk about that in another video. But when I sit down to sit in love, I sit down and I exhale. And what I do is I feel the feeling of release. I feel the feeling of setting down the worldly struggles, the worldly fears and anxieties, the things that make me feel like I'm not joyful and loving, the responsibilities. I set them down for a while, and I just sit in the awareness of the feeling of that release. And what happens is I recognize a little feeling there. What's the feeling I recognize? It's the feeling of Jeshua on the beach when you walked up to him. You could feel his presence. It's that loving essence, that loving element. It's right there at the bottom of every breath you take. And by the goosebumps will rise. I don't know if you see that or not. Right? The goosebumps will rise. And you have this experience of just feeling this joyful, loving feeling. And that joyful, loving feeling is the feeling of God. It's the feeling of Source. And it's the feeling of sitting in love. And then you come out of that And that carries with you through the day, that feeling. And the world around you becomes more loving, and things happen more smoothly, and the world becomes an expression of the love that you've allowed yourself to feel by releasing. But you have to choose to release. You have to choose to set down the beliefs of separation, the beliefs that things are so hard, the beliefs that are showing you in the outer experience of your world. And when you set down those beliefs, those fears, your world changes. Your world becomes much more beautiful. You get to be surrounded by beautiful people like you who are asking questions and looking at new experiences. And it's just a matter of you coming to that space. But no one can do it for you. You're the only one. Now let me also say this. The best meditation is sleep. I agree with the Dalai Lama. If you don't want to sit in a room and sit and have that experience that I'm having, go to bed. Take a nap, right? The best meditation is sleep. It's also the simplest meditation because your body just does it naturally. So I would not worry about the concept of needing to meditate because you don't need to meditate. You do it every day already, naturally. So what is meditation? It's a respite from the world of anxiety and fear. That's all it really is. And if you want to consciously do it during the day, or consciously do it when you feel that anxiety, when you feel that separation, beautiful. Exhale. Have a mini meditation. Have a mini moment of love all throughout your day. Every time you find yourself in anxiety, be very present and feel love in that moment. And the anxiety will dissipate. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. The John of New channel is solely funded by your generous donations and purchases of private readings and merchandise. To help out, go to johnofnew.com or use the donation link in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.